Have you ever tried to run a webinar or a group training through a normal one-on-one calendar where one person books a time and then that's it? You don't get all the other pieces all connected. And then suddenly your automation system actually turns into a spreadsheet with different messages with all the different people that you want in this one place. So today we're actually going to fix that. Today we're going to be looking at using one calendar with one host to deliver to multiple attendees who can book their own seats. You've got capacity control, so how many people you want, confirmations, reminders sent, and then each attendee can be managed individually. So that's what we're doing today is we're creating a group booking system for webinars and live trainings. So as always, hi, I'm Sally Sparks Cousins. This is Strategy with Sally. We're going to kick off with our theme song as we wait for all our VIPs to join us in the live stream. And then we've got some GSD tasks for you. And as always, we do have a workbook available for this session. Head to sparklewithsally.com/629. All right, I'll be back in 3.5 as we get our boogie on and get warmed up for today's Strategy with Sally.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. Just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Shine. Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Strategy with Sally. And I am a little unprepared for today. I have been running some live workshops, and we ran a live workshop this morning. And then I thought I was like super prepared and had like the workbooks and everything ready for today. And then when I've jumped on over this morning, I'm like, oh, I've forgotten a few things. So literally, when I say sometimes to you that I am like riding by the seat of my pants, literally that's what we're doing today. All right. So I know that we've got stuff to get through. I know that we have a workbook, but we're going to see how we go with not many notes and just getting through today. We're going to GSD. And to be honest with you, sometimes just do it messy, right? I talk about it all the time. Progress over perfection. Just do it messy. And today is a little bit of that. So I just wanted to be totally honest with you how today's going to run. If we have not yet met, I'm Sally Sparks Cousins. This is Strategy with Sally. It's our regular weekly live that we do at the same time every week. So it streams at 10 a.m. Melbourne time, and today we're getting into something a bit practical, right? And we're not just going to talk about it, and we're not going to add it to the bottom of your to-do list, and we're not going to just sit it to the side. We're actually going to plan and set up a class calendar booking system. And it says, Sharon says it's a bit funny. Let me double. You know what it could be? It could be this. Let me.
Is that 1 2 1 2? Is that better? Better. Yay! All right. Thank you, Sharon. Like I said, we're just rolling with it today. So we're going to be looking at the class booking calendar for webinars, online classes, workshops, and group training. So if you've ever tried to manage group sessions before through a normal one-on-one calendar booking, one person books the time and everyone else sees that that session is now unavailable. Then you start collecting names through emails, messages, comments, and you're manually sending them or adding them to a workflow or sending them a meeting link. Or you're just trying to remember who's paid to come to the session. And then 5 minutes before the session, someone messages you and asks, what time does it start? And suddenly your lovely automated booking process becomes a bit of a spreadsheet with 7 browsers open and sticky notes that you can't find. So today we're going to fix that. We're going to build a class booking calendar which is designed for one appointment owner delivering the same session to multiple independent registered attendees. So the things that it works best for are things like webinars, workshops, online classes, group coaching, group training, demonstrations, seminars, even like fitness and sports sessions, onboarding group calls, office hours, community live sessions. So each attendee can book their own seat, receive their own confirmation, and be managed individually. Now, if you haven't yet done so, grab the workbook. So we have a workbook available for this session. This workbook, you can go to strategywithsally.com/629. That's, not Strategy with Sally. I digress. sparklewithsally.com/629. And then we're going to walk through the workbook first. So that means you'll be deciding what you're actually going to be building before we actually start clicking around and starting to build. Then once the planning is complete, because we always map it first, then we build it, then we measure and optimize. If you know the OmniSAM way, that's one of our rules. So we map it, then we build it, then we optimize it. So we'll do the planning and then we'll move to a share screen and turn those workbook answers into an actual calendar. So by the end of this session, you should have chosen a real session, confirmed the class booking that is actually the right calendar. You'll select the host. You'll decide the capacity, the availability. We're also going to map out the registration and the communications that go out from there. We'll also configure the calendar inside of OmniSAM. Then once we've done that, you can then go ahead and test the booking, and then you will have created a link that's ready to share. So before we begin, tell me in the comments, what would you use for the class booking calendar? Would it be for a webinar, an online class, a workshop, a group coaching, maybe a group training, maybe it's a fitness session or a meditation class or something completely different? So get out your little tippy tap fingers. Let us know. We've got cooking classes. Yes, great. Oh, meditation classes. Fabulous. What else have we got coming in over here? Yeah, webinar. Challenge. Oh, I love a good challenge. Excellent. All right, so there's a few of them. So will the session be a one-off or will it be reoccurring? So if it's a one-off, type one-off in the chat. If it's reoccurring, then type reoccurring. Awesome. So, right, now what I want you to do is grab your workbook and grab a pen. Or if you've got your workbook and downloaded it, it should be fillable as well. You should be able to make it fillable. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to page number 2 and we're going to start the planning process. So on page 2, you're going to choose which session that you're going to, what you're going to create this for, a webinar, online class, workshop, examples, right? And then you will not choose everything, right? We're going to choose one, because that's what today's all about, is making one thing work. Then you're going to name the session. And then we're also going to write who the session is for. So what are the people that you're trying to attract? And what's the outcome and the goal for that session? And then we're going to move straight into, is the class booking the right calendar? So then we're going to choose class booking. Right? That's literally what we're going to choose. That's on the following page. So I'm going to give you a minute now, or probably 3 minutes I think I've set on the calendar, for you to complete pages 2 and 3 in the workbook. And then that's our first GSD. And then we'll be back here to move on to more planning.
I won't make it easy for you now. You got 2 minutes of my time, and I don't really break too easily, but I'm worth it, 'cause I'll slip into your dreams tonight. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Just watch me breaking your sweat. You're falling into me, touch me. I swear you would do anything that I want, so keep us awake till the dawn. Baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. I wanna make you sweat on me. I got you wrapped around my finger, but don't you try to call me tomorrow. Just watch me breaking your sweat. You're falling into me, touch me. I swear you would do anything that I want, so keep us awake till the dawn. Baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. I wanna make you sweat on me.
There we go. So that is the first part of our workbook. And, you know, when you're starting to think about who this session is for, I don't want you to just say everybody, right? That is not your audience. It might be things like, you know, new clients, local business owners, beginner photographers. It could be, you know, membership clients. It could be a number of different things. So, and then the outcome is what should they get when they finish. So understanding how to use a particular feature, complete a first startup, you know, build a plan, learn a new technique. All right. So that is how we do the first part of the workbook. And then, you know, think about some real case studies that you might be able to use later as well, after somebody makes that decision to join you. All right. Now, as we work through this workbook, again, I just want to reiterate, we're not going to overthink things, right? We're going to do the thing and then we're going to go ahead and start building it. All right. So that's what you started with the building session. And then you've answered, let me just check here, what the results are or the outcome. And try to just describe it in a single sentence, right? Keeping in mind, they're going to see it on the actual calendar when they go to book. All right. Now, moving on down, we're going to start to now plan out the core sections of the calendar itself, right? So the first thing is actually, let me explain the different calendars to you first, okay? So you'll see at the bottom of page number 3 that there are different types of calendars that you can choose from. So the first one is the personal calendar. So this is generally one host, one attendee. Then there is the round robin calendar. That is the attendee that is assigned various people. So for example, if I've got 3 team members who can do this particular session, I'll put all 3 team member names in and then I'll say, do they all get an even split or does somebody get more than the other? And the system will automatically assign one of the team members. That's what a round robin is. Now, a collective calendar, this is multiple team members being required for the same appointment. So the great thing about this is, say, for example, I want myself and Vinodi in an appointment, the system will look at both of our calendars and only show somebody our availability where we're both available at the same time. And then finally is the class booking calendar. Now, this is one host delivering one session to multiple attendees. Now, there is another common point of confusion in this as well. A class booking calendar is not the same as allowing someone to add a guest, right? With add a guest, it's still one main person booking in the calendar and includes other people with them. But with the class booking calendar, each attendee is independently booking their own piece. So that means each attendee will have their own contact record, their own booking record, their own confirmations, their own reminders, their own cancellations or reschedules, and also their own follow-ups. And you can manage one attendee without cancelling the whole session. So that's what you'll be doing on the 3rd page. It's very simple. It just explains the different calendar types and a little checklist to make sure that you're choosing the correct calendar. So if there is one host, and one appointment owner, multiple attendees at the same session, and each attendee should have their own set thing, You can also look at setting capacity, right? So how many people do we want in the appointment? And also the workbook will give you some rules. So we're going to work through some of the core calendar detail rules now as well. So what we're going to do is on page 4, we're going to look at now planning out some of the core features that you will be doing when we actually move into the software side. By doing all of this pre-planning, it also helps later, right, when you go to set it up. So on this page, the information that we'll be entering is, let me just come over here. Which one is it? No, this one here. All right, so we will be looking here at, where am I? Whoops, too far through on the workbook. Okay, so planning out your calendar. So your calendar should clearly tell the attendees what they are booking. So for some really good examples, you can use like free website planning workshop or weekly client Q&A, a beginner yoga class or group onboarding session or monthly marketing masterclass. So avoid internal names that only make sense to you and your team, right? So if the attendee sees Project Zebra Phase 2, they may not feel completely confident about what they're actually booking. All right, so name it well. Then the next part is the appointment owner or host. This is the person who will deliver or own the session. Now, for class booking, you can assign just one unique person. Now, when you select that person, it automatically links to view their Google Calendar or their Outlook calendar as well. Now, the next part is the calendar slug. Now, this becomes part of the booking link. I want you to keep it short and easy to remember. So when you're using OmniSAM, it'll have something like connect.yourdomain / calendar and then your slug. So you want it to be short, easy to recognize, easy to say, and relevant to the session. So an example could be website workshop or weekly group coaching. Don't make it 17 words or a full sentence if you can help it. Then you've got to name the appointment title. Now, this title that appears in the appointment record and it also appears in communication. So make it understandable for both your team and also for the attendees. Now, the next one is the meeting location. So I would recommend setting up a reusable regular Zoom link or a Google Meet link or another online meeting room. If you're running or you've got a community or a membership or a course inside of OmniSAM, you know that you can actually set up your own meeting link. So instead of having to have Zoom, you can actually run meetings and group meetings inside of the OmniSAM software. And then it automatically saves to the course or inside the community. So you could do that as well. Another thing that you could have as the meeting location is a physical venue, right? Or a classroom or an office or a training facility. So it doesn't have to be online. So where will the actual link go? And we'll be putting that in as we set up the calendar. Now, the next thing is the session duration. So how long will the actual session be, right? Now, remember that you also need to allow time for not just the event, but think about the experience you intend to deliver. So is it a 30-minute session or is it a 2-hour workshop? It's very different in regards to what the attendees will expect. Now, the next one is the short calendar description. So here I want you to write a brief explanation that covers what the session is, who it is for, what attendees will gain, and anything important they should know before booking. All right. So, but you're not writing a full sales page here. Okay. Keep it super clear. So I'll just say those again for you. You will write what the session is for, who it is for, what they will gain, and anything important they should know before booking. All right. And remember, you're not writing a full sales page. So that is what you'll be doing on page number 4. Then you will move into the next section, which is setting your capacity. So with the capacity page, let's move across to that one now. So this is where you're now going to control how many people can actually attend and when they are allowed to book. So the capacity, there might be a number of seats, especially if you're in a physical room. You might only be able to fit 10 or 20 people into that room. So the class booking will support as many people as you want. It could be 5 or up to 9,999 seats in the calendar setting. However, your real capacity may be limited by your platform, your Zoom license if you're running a webinar, the venue, available equipment, how much interaction the session needs, how much attention the live attendees need, and how many people you can actually genuinely support within the session. So like when we do a live click-by-click GSD session, I cannot have more than 12 people in one of those sessions because I physically cannot help, even with my team members in the room, more than about 12 people. Then it just gets too much and nobody gets loved. So the technical maximum must be sensible, okay? And it's not always the same for everyone. A webinar where everyone listens can support hundreds. A hands-on workshop where everyone needs to give feedback might be better with 10. A capacity is not only about how many people fit in, it's also about the quality of the experience. Now, the next one is, can you show how many seats are left? So will you let the attendees see how many are left or not? And showing the numbers can actually help, especially if places are really, really limited. People need to know whether the session is nearly full. Capacity affects their decision. You might hide it when you think capacity is very high. The number is really irrelevant. You don't want them to actually be influenced by seeing that you could have like 500 people in the session. However, if there's only 10, showing capacity can add that little bit of, FOMO, fear of missing out and wanting to not miss out on that seat. And then availability type, you've got 2 decisions here. Will it be a weekly, right? That could be useful. Will it be a reoccurring event or will it be a one-off? So are you going to be running weekly classes, regular group coaching, regular monthly Q&As? Maybe you do group onboarding sessions that happen, say, a week every month, or if there's ongoing trainings. Now, date-specific and one-off is useful for the one-off webinar, a special workshop, an occasional event, or, a launch session or a one-time seminar. So OmniSAM can distinguish between standard weekly availability and then date-specific hours for a unique kind of one-off session. And now, when it comes to some of the booking rules, this is where we choose the start time, the finish time, and the maximum scheduling notice. So the maximum scheduling notice is how long before the actual session will you allow people to book. For me, if I'm running a session and I need to know that I'm, have to get up because there are bookings, I might do 12 hours before. So if my session starts at, say, 7 or 8 a.m. in the morning, I can check my calendar in the evening at 7 or 8 p.m. at night to see what the following day is and know that nobody's going to book while I'm sleeping. And then if I see no one's booked, maybe I don't have to go and do that session in the morning and I can have a little sleep in. Now, if it doesn't matter, like you're going to run the session regardless, you may allow them to book right up until the start time. All right. So you can choose that minimum scheduling notice, and then how far ahead can people book. So what that does is it opens up how far into the future people can see. Now, if you just leave it blank, it's going to let them scan through to 2050 to find times in your calendar. I generally recommend that they don't see more than a week or sort of 10 to 14 days into the future. Because if somebody's warm, you want them in there now. Unless, of course, you only are going to run this at one time during the month and you've got 30 days to fill it, then, of course, you'll open it up and let them see 30 days into the future. So when you're thinking about how far ahead, just take into consideration some of those things. All right. And then in regards to the time zone check, you will be able to see it in your time zone when we check it, but you will also the users will see it in their time zone. All right, so that's what we're going to do now. Your GSD task is to complete these 2 pages, planning your core calendar things and then setting those capacity and availability rules. All right, so again, we're going to give you 3 minutes to complete these 2 pages.
I gotta tell you something I could do. I could be running around chasing you, but I won't. Cause I got better things to do. Rather spend my precious time chasing somebody who loves me too. If I got $1 for every time you slam the door, I would be the richest girl alive, live. If you hadn't run away every time I asked you stay, you would sleep right next to me tonight. No, you didn't want me, all you wanted was a game to play, and you couldn't handle that I had my ways. Around your matrix and your side chicks, I'm a winner, babe. No, you didn't win this, it's a part of the game. In the beginning, I just didn't know that you're an enemy I held too close. Now I know, cause you did everything to prove me wrong. You were not the guy I thought. Now I'm beating you at your own. Yeah. If I got $1 for every time you slam the door, I would be the richest girl alive, live. No, you didn't want me, all you wanted was a game to play, and you couldn't handle that I had my ways. Around your matrix and your side chicks, I'm a winner, babe. No, you didn't win this, it's a part of the game. Yeah, I beat you at your game, and if you were me, you would do the same. Man, I really love to play, and now that I won, then it's safe to say, no, you didn't want me, all you wanted was a game to play, and you couldn't handle that I had my ways. Around your matrix and your side chicks, I'm a winner, babe. No, you didn't win this, it's a part of the game. No, you didn't want me, all you wanted was a game to play, and you couldn't handle that I had my ways. Around your matrix and
Alrighty,
your side
wrapping on
chicks,
up
I'm a
now.
winner, babe. No, you didn't win this, it's a part of the game.
Alrighty, guys, well done. Okay, so we're getting through some GSD now, which is fabulous. And now if we move to, let me get out my little thingy again. Where's it hiding on me? All right. Next is to plan your registration form. So when it comes to your registration form, the system automatically will ask for the name, and the email, I believe. But if you want to create additional questions and you would like to put, a particular word on the button, and also information about the event. So what we're going to do is when you have actually got the registration form, you can use the default one, but the goal of the booking form is to collect the information that you genuinely actually need, not every piece of information that you could possibly ask for. So the workbook includes some possible fields. Let's just head on over to the workbook here. So it includes some possible fields that you can have, such as first name, surname, email, phone number. If you want to collect a business name, you could ask, for example, experience level. So for us, we ask things like, what stage of business are you in, or how many years have you been in business? If you are at an event, it might be accessibility needs, or it could be food preferences. If you're putting on food, are they, celiac, or do they have a particular type of restriction? And also if you need any consent. So if you're filming it, do you want to add, giving them permission to use, yes or no? Now, you may not need all of these, and honestly, for a simple webinar, name and an email may be enough. I do like to ask for a phone number so that we can text them. But for hands-on training sessions, you may also need things like experience level, current challenges, equipment that's available, and like I said, accessibility, or what do they want help with? This also helps us with our segmentation, right? So will I actually use these answers before a session? Sometimes, right? But not always. So we want to make it frictionless. The further and the longer they've known you, the more questions you can ask. So if this is going out to a cold audience, then I would consider leaving out a lot of things, right? Because every single field actually adds more friction to them joining or not joining. So the workbook also asks for one useful preparation question. So this can help you tailor the session. So some examples here would be, what would you most like help with? Or what is your current experience level? What is your biggest challenge you're currently facing? Or what result would make this session worthwhile? Then you decide, what to put on your booking button. So that could be book my seat, reserve my seat, register for the workshop, join my class, save my place, right? Keep it clear and action focus. Now, finally, the workbook asks, what information should you not ask for? Now, this is a useful reminder to remove anything that is unnecessary. So it's really just there to make you think beforehand, do I really, really need that? All right, so that is and I believe that is, let me check, the next. That's just me double checking what our GSD task is. So the next GST is also on mapping the attendees' communication. So with the attendees' communication, this is the booking itself is only one part of the journey. Your communication helps people to, one, remember what's been booked. Secondly, prepare anything that they need. The third, make sure that they attend on time. The fourth thing is to know where they need to go, and then to understand what happens next. Now, the wider OmniSAM calendar setup can actually support emails. It also supports in-app notifications to you when people book. It also supports SMS notifications if you've got a phone number connected inside of OmniSAM, depending on your configuration that is. And notifications can even go out to WhatsApp if you want for booking confirmations. So when they first book, then also for the reminders that go out, then if they cancel or reschedule, and then also within the calendar, what goes out after as well. You can send one email as part of the calendar. Now, all of these emails can be done within the calendar without having to go to automations and workflows to set them up. Now, there's a few limitations, such as the reminders. You can send up to 3 reminders, but they've all got to be the same message. Where if you build it in a workflow, you might do like 5 days before, the day before, and 15 minutes before, and then you're giving them different emails over that. So that is a limitation within the calendar area. However, it's done. It may not be perfect with all the extra bells and whistles, but why would you go build another automation if you just need a calendar out there now, right? And then immediately after booking, we need to really tell them what to do. So, what they booked, what the date and time is, what the time zone is, what's the location for joining, and then anything they need to prepare, and then also a cancel or reschedule button that is in those emails. And again, they are all pre-built into the system, which I'll show you when we move over. And also thinking about when you move to the reminders part, when do you want those reminders sent out? And like I said, you can choose up to 3. So it might be 24 hours before, 3 hours before, 1 hour before, all right? More than once for a really important event. The reminder should include the essential information, but do not make people search through 6 old emails to find that join link. Make sure that is in all the emails. So regardless of which email they open, they will always get that join link. Then in regards to the after the session follow-up, what follow-up or next step should they receive? So this could include a replay access, notes that you're going to send them, workbook, even just asking for a review or a feedback request. Maybe they get granted a certificate, or maybe they're offered another booking. What's the offer? Like the invitation could be to your program or the practical next steps. So that after email is actually, again, built into the calendar. So think about what you're going to put in there. Now, regarding the cancellation and the rescheduling, this is where we decide whether attendees can actually cancel the appointment, whether they can reschedule the appointment, and what is the cutoff before the session that allows them to either cancel or reschedule. So, for example, if it's a one-off and it's a very important meeting, you may need to know your numbers beforehand, and you might cut off cancelling and rescheduling 12 hours before the appointment. That way, they're one, you know how to prepare prior to the session because you know exactly 12 hours before how many people are in there. Also, if they're going to cancel or reschedule, they have to reach out to you and cancel and reschedule. If you want them to be able to do that right up until the time, then you can do that as well. But you want to give people a reasonable flexibility, but also protecting your time and your capacity, especially like just moving away from class bookings. If I was doing one-on-ones, I don't let them cancel or reschedule within that 12-hour window because I've already set time aside. I've blocked off my calendar. I've said no to other people who may want that time. So I don't allow them to cancel or reschedule before. If it's a paid appointment, you've already blocked out your time. You go to the doctors, right? And they don't, like my therapist doesn't let me reschedule the day before, right? It has to be done at least more than 24 hours before, or I get a fee. Why? Because I've had to say no to other people, and I may not fill that spot because they've, of course, we give reasons, and we're flexible with our terms and conditions, right? If somebody's really sick or in hospital, right, of course we're going to say that's okay. We'll fix you up later. Actually, I just digress. I'll tell you a very funny reel that I saw the other day. There was this woman on the phone, and she'd called somebody, and her friend's on the microwave clicking the button going, beep, beep, beep. And she's on the phone going, I can't come in, beep. I'm really sick. I'm in the hospital. Beep. Oh, it was hilarious. I had to show my husband and my daughter. I'm like, oh, lucky. I can't ring myself and call in sick, unfortunately. I would know what I'm doing. All right. So that takes us on to pages 6 and 7 in the workbook. So again, we're going to give you a 3-minute GSD to get those 2 things done in your workbook, and then we'll be back for the next section.
You interrupt me and I interrupt you. A shame. When did we start losing and stop giving? I remember I gave it time, all of my time. Now my mind's lost in its thoughts. I want you want only you, but my heart's all tied up in knots. Wanna release it, 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 wanna release it.
Alrighty, well done, guys. Okie dokie then. We're working our way through this. I've lost my little workbook again. Let me find it again. Alrighty then. Now that we've gone through the booking and the reminders, now we're going to move into page 8 where you're going to choose the post-booking experience. So what happens immediately after someone completes the booking? Now you've got several possible kind of confirmation experiences that you can take people to. So you can redirect them to show, to add to calendar and all of that. Or you can have a redirect link set up that then takes them to another page, right? So you could have your own landing page that then shows them things like preparation instructions, a workbook or a resource, a community page maybe. Maybe there's a video on there that talks to them and tells them what's happening next. You may also put on that page additional event details. And if you want to make sure you've got no dead ends and also incorporate a fast path, you could include an offer on there. So a really great example of an offer if you're doing a webinar or a free class is having a VIP upgrade offer, right? So that's kind of the next logical step. So just think about what could be that additional extra action. But do not waste that beautiful confirmation page that just says bookings complete, done. Guess what that is? Dead end, right? If someone has just registered for a workshop, that is the perfect time to give them the workbook, preparation steps, joining instructions, and next relevant step or action. So the workbook also includes an option in there for payments as well, because you do have the option to run a free session, or you can take a full payment, or you can also take a deposit or a partial payment. So the OmniSAM calendar settings can support both the payment or the free. And also, if you want to, you can even use coupon codes where, you want to configure those features. But for this lesson, payment is optional, right? You're either paying or you're not paying. Now, we're not going to be doing things that today in the setup where we connect Stripe or PayPal or Square, right? That's going to take over the entire show. But if it's already connected, it's a very easy click the button, right? So on page number 8, you're going to now map out what is the confirmation experience. Will they just go to the default confirmation page, a redirect page, and if you know what it's going to be, write out the URL, and then what's actually going to happen on that page? What are you going to show them? And any messages, redirect notes, and if payments are going to be included. All right, so this is our next GSD task. To take it away, here we go.
I've been holding on, I wouldn't let you go. 'Cause every time I try, you find a loophole. I've been slamming the door and just leave you cold. When I come back, you've heated up the South Pole. You see my body rush for the escape, while my heart wants to stay. Push or pull, and I am going mad just like you knew I would. You're reading me like an open book. You know me better than I ever thought you could. You see my body rush for the escape, while my heart wants to stay. I'd run away, hit the road, and almost lane, but I keep turning back just like a boomerang.
Well done, guys. All right, we've made it through the workbook. That's the first preparation step. Now we're going to move, and the rest of the workbook is after we've built it, we're going to test it, right? So I've given you some items to test after, and then you can map out your GSD and commitment statement. But now the fun part. Let's go on over to my computer and let's start to set up the actual, where's my screen share? Yeah? Are we in the right place? Yes, we are. All right. So where do we build this? So when you come down the left-hand side, you will see calendars. We click on calendars in the left-hand menu, and then across the top, we find calendar settings, and we click on calendar settings. And this is where we can build out the new calendar. Now, I'm not going to go into what any of these things mean. That's for another lesson, and what these groups mean. Today, we're just going to build a class booking calendar. So in the top right side, we are going to click on new calendar. When you click on new calendar, you're going to see those different calendar options that we spoke about earlier in today's session: the personal booking, round robin, class booking, and collective calendar. Now, you'll also see there's a couple of other calendar types, which is an event calendar and a service booking calendar. We're not going to go into those today, but you can definitely, if you want to learn more about them, go to help.omnisam.com.au to look into those more. But today we're just going to click class booking. Now, what did we name the calendar? I'm just going to do some test stuff, right? So we're just going to go test live webinar, just so I know to delete this later. Then that little description that we wrote at the beginning of this, which is who it is for, what they will achieve, we're going to write in here. So the description, which is who it is for, what they will gain by the end, and anything they should know before booking. All right, keep it super simple and easy. Make sure you spell better than me. There we go. So there's an example. Then we drop it down and we choose a team member. So I'm just going to choose myself. And then remember that little slug that we made? We're going to put that slug in there. So we're just going to go test webinar. 2. There we go. And then how long is the actual event itself? So we're going to say it's a 60-minute session. Then we're going to say how many people can book. Let's say only 20 people can get into this class. Then we've got our booking availability. Now, if we don't do anything, it will show the full availability on the person's calendar that you've linked to this. So it will look at my calendar and only show availability. However, because you're more than likely going to be running it at a set time, then I would come in here and I would be customizing once we get into the more advanced settings. Now, the meeting location, this will be a Zoom link, a Google Meet link, an OmniSAM live stream link, or it could be a physical location. So I'm just going to pretend here and do Zoom and pretend that this is a Zoom meeting link in here, and whether or not you will have and accept payments. Then you will click on, don't click confirm, click on advanced settings at the very bottom, which will now open the calendar to allow you to do all of the other features. So starting at the top, you can upload a logo. So I'm just going to quickly navigate to where my logo is and upload my logo into that section. And then the live webinar, you can see the description, the URL code has come in, and we haven't taught about groups, but just ignore groups. Now, this bit here that says meeting invite title, it will default to just the contact's name. But I always like to put on the end the name of the appointment. So whatever you've put up in calendar name, I usually pop that at the end because it will show their name, but they also need to remember what it's for as the main title. Plus their email will also populate out with that. So as you can see, it's the meeting invite. So if they have Google, it will automatically send an invite to their Google Calendar and show it as this. All right. Now, once we've done that, we click Save Changes up in the top right corner, which will automatically start to move us down this left-hand side menu. So staff location, we just choose the person, custom link and your meeting link, or if you've got anything else, but honestly, custom is probably what you're going to do. Next, we move into availability. Now, this is where we set your actual times if there's a set date and time for this meeting. So what I would do is click on it, which will open a little pop-up here on the right. Then you will click date specific hours. And now this is where we put in the actual schedule of when you plan to do this. So for example, let's take, for example, the class that I run today live, which is separate to this. I've got currently at the time of this session, I am running a live session today that's only live today. And if you don't come, you miss out, right? So it is on today at midday. So I would put in 12 p.m. and it runs until 1:30 because it's 90 minutes. It runs till 1:30 p.m. and it's on the 4th and submit. So now I've got this one in here, and then say I'm doing one this evening, I would put in I'm doing it at 7 p.m. and then click OK, and it runs until 8:30 because it's an hour and a half, 8:30 p.m. and submit. So, oops, I forgot. I got to do it here. Add. Sorry, you got to add them in here. You've got to add in all your different times in here. So let's just digress and put in, we've got the, let's say 12 o'clock session, 12 p.m. Okay, until, then this one goes until 1:30 p.m. Okay, and now we can see these two dates and times available on the 4th. And if you wanted to do multiple, you could say you're going to run the same session over every Tuesday. You would put them in there, right? And then we click submit. So you will now start to see our date-specific availabilities in there. All right. So that's how we get in for set events. So we're going to click save. Awesome. All right. Now that we've set our date specifics, then we can move and click save, and it will move down into booking rules. Now, these sessions are actually 90 minutes long. So the meeting interval, I'm going to put it for 90-minute meeting interval. So it will actually start at the beginning of the session and that the meeting duration is 90. Now, remember, we talked about minimum scheduling notice. How far in advance can they book? Is it one day before, or if you leave it blank, they can schedule right up until you start. The date range is how far into the future. Now, the pre and post is if you need time to set up. So I would put in at least 15 to 30 minutes before the event to make sure that you don't double book. And then post buffer time is, do you need any time after the event for scheduling notes, follow up, talking to people, right? And then, of course, we're going to say there's only 20 seats. Click save. Awesome. Now we move into the advanced settings. Now, here in the advanced, you will have the default form: first name, last name, email, phone number, and notes. If that's all you want, stick with the default. If you want to add in additional questions into the form, you can go and build a form, and I'll just quickly show you where the forms can be built. So bear with me just while I open another window, and I'll show you where you can build a form. We're not building a form today, but I'll show you where you can build the form. You would come into the marketing area. Sites area. And then along the top, you'll see forms, okay? Under sites in the left-hand menu, under forms, and you can build out your own questions in there. And then once you've built the form, it will show up here in the little drop down. You'll be able to search for it and use that form. Then the widget order, step 1, do you want them to book their date and time first and then fill out the form, or do you want them to fill out the form first and then book your time? So you can choose that. Sticky contacts, if you turn that on and they've been to this site before, it will automatically pre-populate the fields, which makes it a little bit less friction, right? Less friction. And then if you've got a consent box, you can confirm that you give consent for this company to contact you. And I usually put in here, you can unsubscribe at any time and we will not spam you because we hate spam too. Now, the confirmation page section. Now, you can use the default and it will take them to a page that shows them add to your Google Calendar or to your Outlook or to your iCal. That's the default page that you can send them to. Or if you've built your own thank you page, you can choose the URL redirect, and we went through that earlier. If you want to send them to a different page after they book with information of what they've got to do next and maybe a hello video from you. If you're running ads, you can add in your meta pixel right there. And then this one at the bottom that says auto confirm new meetings, I would leave that on because then it automatically moves the person from just a book to a confirmed book, right? Which is what you want to do. So just leave that as is and then click save. Now we're moving down into the payment section. So if you will be accepting payments, then you can turn it on. You can say how much that payment is going to be, if they can do partial payments, or, if a partial payment, so they've got to do a percentage or a deposit, and also if you want to enable coupon codes, and then finally any payment descriptions that you can add. So they will see, if there's any other helpful details. For example, pay $1 today, and these are what I call value in advance workshops. So they pay $1 today and then you charge them the additional after the workshop, providing they feel that they've got value. If not, they can tell you. So if that's something that you want to run a value in advanced workshop, that can be done there. Then we're going to click save and continue. Don't forget to also, just a reminder, set your correct currency. Now, remember I told you that we don't have to move into automations and workflows for the reminders that you send out. So here is where you will come in, and we're not going to do all of these, but I'm going to show you how they work. You can set up an appointment booked confirmed, right? Because we're going to skip over this unconfirmed because we checked that box earlier that says, automatically confirm. Now you need to decide who gets the booking confirmation and how is it going to be sent. So it will default to send you an in-app confirmation, which is the little bell at the top of OmniSAM or in the app, the notifications. But if you want the person to get an email, you will come in here and you will enable the email and you can choose who gets it. Will it be the contact? Assigned user is the person who is assigned to the calendar. So it'd be you, or in this case, me, because I'm assigned to this calendar. And then in regards to additional emails, this is if somebody has you need to you need to inform your sales team or your marketing team or somebody else about the people that book, then you can put an additional email in here. Another thing I've used for the additional emails is I had a workbook that I wanted, and I said to the printer, between this week, I will be bookings will be coming through. Every booking, you'll get an email, and then at the end of the week, can you collate that and print that many books? So I don't need to remember to continuously send to the printer every time a new lead comes in. I've had that conversation before. Then every time they get one, they just add it to their little log, and then at the end of the week, they know how many workbooks need to be printed. So that's a couple of suggestions around what you may do for the additional email. So once you've done that, you can come in and customize each of the emails. I would recommend that you keep these add to Google Calendar buttons so that people can add it to their own calendars themselves. Don't change any of this information in regards to appointment title, date and time, and meeting link, as that will automatically all be pulled in. But any other information you want to add into that, feel free to go ahead and do that. Now, you can also, just to check, run a test. However, please note, when you run a test, because it's not an official person or a meeting that's booked, it's going to not show you any of this information. You better, once we've finished building it, to book a test appointment, not just test it here, because I get emails all the time. I've run a test and it's missing all this information. Well, it's missing it because it's not an actual booking. You're just doing a test to see that the email comes through. All right, so you've got email, in-app, SMS if you've got the phone number connected, and if you've got an approved WhatsApp number, you can also send a WhatsApp confirmation. Now, all of the others, they can be edited and updated exactly the same way. The only thing that's different is this reminder one. The thing that is different inside the reminder is how many reminders here, and you can add up to 3. So when would you like to trigger the reminders? And you can add up to 3, and I usually do 1 day before, 6 hours before, and then 15 minutes before. But it's up to you. An hour before, right? Then again, don't change or delete anything that's in the reminder, but you can write your own words around it, okay? Now, this was that one limitation. You can't send one email that says 1 day to go, see you in 6 hours, see you in 15 minutes, because it's the same email that gets sent for the 3 different reminders. Maybe one day they'll change that, but right now it has to be the same. All right, so that will be your next step in the calendar, is setting up who and how the notifications go out. Now, the additional settings, configuring additional settings for your calendar. Now, assign contacts to their respective team member, which means the person who is running the appointment, that contact will be assigned to that person. If you have a sales team, and once they're assigned to a salesperson, they stay with that salesperson, then you would turn on the skip assigning contact if they already have been assigned a user, which is the person who's following that lead. Now, again, the rescheduling allowance we spoke about before. How far in advance can they reschedule? How far in advance before the start time can they cancel? If you leave it blank, then they can do it at any time. If you don't want them to be able to schedule or cancel, then you can just turn that off completely. Now, the next part, third-party calendar settings. Do you want to allow them to add to Google, Outlook, and Calendar? Yes, you do. So just leave it on, okay? Then we click Save. We're almost there. Then we get to the widget. So this is what they see. So let's begin with seats per slot. Do you want the booker to see seats or not? Do you have an image that you want at the top of the booking screen? Then you can, and you'll see here it tells you what dimensions that should be. 180 by 180 pixels, and you can upload it in there. Use Neo. I don't even think, it's not even supported for this. So you'll be on calendar widget type is Neo. Here under the primary settings, we can now put in our brand colors. So ours, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but our buttons are usually always green or blue. And then the text on the button. Now, remember we spoke about text on button? We want it to be action taken, not just schedule meeting, like save my seat or something like that. So save my seat. Where it's got calendar title, description, and details, please leave all of those on. Don't worry about custom code unless you're into all of that kind of stuff. And then you can preview what your calendar will actually look like. That button looks disgusting. But you can come through and preview the calendar, work your way through all the pieces, click I confirm and continue. It'll take you into the calendar. And you can see here I haven't set up everything correctly there, so I'll have to go back and figure out why. So there we go. That is how you go through and do your calendar, save changes. Now, back to your workbook. Once you've built that calendar, then you need to test. So if we come back over here into the workbook, what I've done for you is I have also added in how to test. So when you're testing, first you'll check, is the calendar name and description clear? Is the correct session dates appearing? Is the attendee time zone working? Is the seat capacity updating when you book? Are the forms collecting the right information? Is the booking button clear? Is the confirmation message arriving in your inbox, text message, WhatsApp? Does the appointment then appear inside of OmniSAM on the contact's record? And then cancel an appointment, reschedule an appointment, and make sure that that all works as well. So we've given you a checklist for quality assurance to work through, then note what's not working, and then go through and fix it. There we go, guys. That is calendars for class bookings, webinars, and all of the good bits there. So that is your GSD for our series of Done in a Day workshops. This one is on class bookings. Now, we've done lots of Done in a Day workshops. We've done a website one, a funnel one. We did an e-com print on demand one. So if you just go back through our YouTube channel, you'll be able to actually see all the other Done in a Day workshops that we've been running over the past month, every Tuesday at 10 a.m. All right. So honestly, guys, get out there, get that done. Don't make it perfect. Just do the thing. Work through each of those sections that we've done today, and you will have a functioning calendar with a link that's easy to share, and then you can start filling up that workshop, right? And then you will have an active funnel all built within of the booking system with all the reminders and everything without the need to even go into the automations and workflows. You know, that could be your optimized stage, but we've got the minimum viable calendar setting working for you. Pretty cool, right? Excellent, guys. All right. So now that we've done that, I've got to move off now to Ask Me Anything. So Ask Me Anything's about to kick off. All of our VIPs and Academy studio clients, come on in. AMA is about to start. I know a lot of you like to watch out on the live stream and then come in later. We're about to kick that off. Also, we're running 2 more live workshops today, one at midday Melbourne time, which is about half an hour from now. And then we've got also another one this evening at 7 p.m. So if you want to register, that's Melbourne time. There is some on the link, I believe it also has PST time to help you guys work it out. But there is 2 more sessions left before we are, archiving this live workshop for a little while until we decide to run it again. That workshop is actually on the fortunes in the follow-up. That's what today's workshop's about, and it's pretty cool. I've made some awesome little scorecards and online quizzes and stuff that we'll be GSDing together today. All right, guys, now before we head out, let's come across quickly for a what did I like best in the room. Who have we got? Let's bring up Sharon. What did you like best? Is my button working? No, it's not. Is this button working? No, not that one. This one. There we go. Sharon, what did you like best?
I like how it's all set up and it's all done for you, basically. And you can keep doing it again and again.
Yeah. Great for your little cooking classes that you want to run on repeat, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, well, for the viewers out there and the listeners, tell everyone what it is that you do, Sharon.
I am starting cooking classes here at home, where I'm going to have about maybe 7 to 8 people to start with. I want to try and do that monthly. And then in about 2 months' time, I'll do online cooking classes where everybody can come and join in and, have fun.
So exciting. Real food, real easy.
Real easy.
With Sharon from the Flavor Hub. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
I got it right. Yay!
Yeah.
What about you? I know, Joanne, you dropped out and in a couple of times, but what did you like best about today? Oh, you're on mute, my love.
Yeah, I was having Zoom issues.
That's all right.
I think what Sharon just said, you do things that so speak to me in step by step by step by step. And that's something that I can like pause and do what I need to do and then go back and do it because you know me. But I like the way you do that. And that is very, very helpful for me when you break that down into tiny little pieces.
Awesome. I love that. And click by click, that's how we roll around here. All right, we better wrap on up because I know everyone's got a few questions and people are starting to come in. So today we first we planned, right? We've always got to map it first and then we built it, your class booking calendar for one host with multiple attendees. You chose your session, confirmed the correct calendar, selected appointment owner. You planned your calendar details, set capacity, availability. We looked at the registration form, the different types of communications that go out after, including the before, the reminders, the post, and then you will go through in your own time and complete the actual testing part. Now, this is not simply about placing a booking link online. It is about creating a clear journey where someone can actually understand the session, choose the date, reserve a seat, get the right information, get the right reminders, attend the sessions prepared, and then also know what happens next, right? So that's why we didn't just jump straight into the calendar. I always like to map it first. I mean, as a graphic designer in school, they used to say, you got to sketch it before you open the software. You might feel like you want to jump straight into the software, but if you map it first, it'll save you fluffing around in the software because you've got that mapped plan first. So perhaps you're looking at this and thinking, this would be really easy in my life, but you're also not exactly sure, other steps are in your head and you're thinking, I would like to do it myself, but I need some help. Or if you don't even have the software, you can actually get a free trial and give it a crack, right? So you can start a free trial at trial.omnisam.com.au. And when you start your free trial, we will actually help you get your calendars set up and automated inside of that one simple system. And we'll do it with you. So you don't need to worry about trying to stitch it all together, especially if you're someone who's got multiple platforms right now, which may have stopped you from actually moving forward. So give it a crack. Head to trial.omnisam.com.au. All right, guys, as always, never let anyone dull your sparkle. Thanks for joining me on Strategy with Sally. Make sure you get one income-producing activity done every day, and every day be marketing. They're all doing this in the VIP room. I love it. All right, guys, have a good one, and I'll see you next week on our live. And if you want to join us for our free live workshop, then you just need to head to, I'm just trying to think, join.omnisam.com.au. All right, guys, see you soon. Bye for now.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long.